What about the voice inside your head? That voice can be whatever you want it to be, just like you can close your eyes and imagine anything. They say if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does sound make a sound? What sound then? 'Cause can't you hear that voice inside your head? Just like you can close your eyes and visualize whatever you want, you can experience all 5 senses in your own head. And if you're not physically feeling them, what does that mean? When you no longer have a physical body and you die, will those 5 senses, and at least those 5 senses that we know, still remain? Furthermore, the body has to do what we want it to do. If we want it to be up and on its feet, it stays there until it falls of fatigue. The body has no recourse to anything below itself. It has to accept the final slavery imposed on it by the mind and emotions. If we didn't have a mind and we didn't have emotions, the body would probably be inert and useless. The body on its own accord will be simply a creature, seeking food, seeking to survive. But with no particular purpose or project in mind, the body is not an executive, but is a victim to the executive office upstairs. If you can divert from your mind materialistic conception of what the individual called man really is, the external or physical man is no more a man than the coat he wears. The physical man is only an instrument in which the real inner man or soul expresses itself in the physical universe. Various materialistic theories have been given in the past trying to explain the mighty phenomenon of dreams, but these theories have always been more or less unsatisfactory. Why? Because the materialist tries to explain the riddle of human existence without an individual human spirit. The explanation will always be unsatisfactory. Dreams afford a separation of soul and body. As soon as the senses become torpid, the inner man withdraws from the outer. The inner man separates from the body in 3 ways. 1. Natural sleep. Try to just lie in bed with your eyes closed awake and get rest. After 2 weeks, you'd be a madman. 2. Induced sleep, such as hypnotism, mesmerism or trance, psychedelics or daydreaming, for example. 3. Death. In the above 2 cases, the inner man has left his body temporarily, whereas in death he has left it forever. In the case of death, the link that connects soul and body, as seen by clairvoyant vision, is broken. But in trance or sleep, it is released. The real man is that in the astral world he now functions in his astral body, which becomes a vehicle for expressing consciousness, just as the physical body is an instrument for expressing consciousness in the waking state. The physical body provides sensory experiences during life. Consciousness is not limited to only what the body has lived. There are many experiences such as dreams, near-death experiences, and if you believe in it, astral projection, where people report perceiving things beyond what their physical senses have encountered. In dreams, people see places they've never been or experience things that never happened in their waking life. In astral projection, some report perceiving distant locations or realities beyond the physical. Near-death experiences sometimes include seeing realms or beings that were never part of one's earthly experience. This suggests that while the body records and stores sensory data, consciousness has access to perception beyond just what the body has lived. It may be able to tap into memory, intuition, or even a greater collective awareness that extends beyond a single lifetime. If we didn't have a body, we could still experience senses, but they wouldn't be the same as physical senses. Without a body, consciousness wouldn't rely on biological organs to see, hear, or touch, but it could still perceive in other ways. Think about how in dreams or astral projection, people report seeing, hearing, or feeling things, even though their physical body is asleep. This suggests that perception exists beyond the body, just in a different form. Instead of sensing through physical means, it may be a more direct awareness where you instantly know or experience something without needing eyes to see or ears to hear. This idea aligns with many spiritual and metaphysical teachings that describe consciousness as capable of perceiving beyond the physical realm. So while the experience of sensing might change, awareness and perception would still exist. Now, if we didn't have consciousness, we couldn't experience senses, we wouldn't truly sense anything. The body might still receive sensory input, light hitting the eyes, sound waves vibrating the eardrum, but without consciousness to interpret and experience those signals, they would be meaningless. It would be like a recording device that captures data, but doesn't experience what it records. Think of someone in a deep coma. Their body may still react to stimuli, but without consciousness, there is no awareness or experience of those sensations. This suggests that while the body gathers sensory data, it is consciousness that turns that data into perception. Ever heard of the observer effect? If the body receives sensory input, but consciousness is not present to interpret it, the input remains meaningless. Just like an unobserved quantum system remains in a state of probability rather than a definite state. Consciousness collapses raw sensory data into meaningful experience, much like an observer in quantum mechanics collapses a wave function into a definite state. This implies that perception and reality may be deeply intertwined. Without a conscious observer, reality might remain in a kind of undetermined state, just as sensory data remains meaningless without conscious interpretation. Egyptians and ancients said this is not the world of the real. We knew this was a simulation. We just never used the word because we didn't have the word computer simulation. Now that we understand computers, we can actually explain where we live at because we have been dealing with computers now and they're in our life, so we have something to grasp on. But the computer simulation was mimicking something already in existence. As nothing's invented, it's only discovered.